Here's what's on tap for today's Philadelphia 76ers now by Chat Sports. I'm Chase Sr. Are the Sixers interested in signing Killian Tillie, a Gonzaga legend? And also, we have a Joel Embiid Olympic update as far as his injury status, but also social media pretty quiet. Crickets after back-to-back solid performances from the process. First, we're having a like challenge this month. Here in August of 2024, we picked up 842 likes. August of 2023, 1,054. So are you excited for some 76ers basketball looking ahead over the next couple of months? If that's the case, I want you to hit that thumbs up icon, like the video, and let's shatter that number from last year as we continue to crush it and break records here on 76ers. Now, Killian Tillie. The real ones are familiar with this game, and they know what he brought to the table for Gonzaga back a few years ago. And now, modern day, 76ers reportedly interested in the former Grizzlies stretch big. Signed with Memphis after going undrafted back in the 2020 NBA draft. He spent 2 seasons with the Grizzlies. Then he was waived in 2022 after a back surgery. Then he suffered an ankle injury in 2023 after recovering. So he's really struggled to find his footing as far as his game, but also as far as his health. And according to Theo Lawson of The Spokesman up there in Spokane, Washington, that's where Gonzaga is, the Warriors and 76ers did have interest last offseason before his ankle injury. So now that Sixers interest starting to come back to the forefront here. Here's what Theo Lawson had to say. Tillie returned to Spokane, rehabbed, recovered, ramped up for training camp workouts in the late spring, early summer with hopes that he'd latch on with another NBA team. The 6'9" forward had a number of feelers with strong interest coming from the Golden State Warriors and Philadelphia 76ers in particular. Tillie's comeback was nearly complete when he endured another untimely setback, injuring his ankle during a free agent workout. Of course, a bummer for him that happened because it was looking as though maybe he was going to be able to latch on with the team. But the fact that the Sixers had interest last year of note, because could they make a move now to bring him in? And is that interest still there? His career numbers, only 54 games played in his NBA career, only 11.9 minutes per, 3.2 points per game, 1.5 rebounds, 33.7% from the field. And his specialty is being that stretch big who, while in college, could knock down the three. At the NBA level, it hasn't happened in a small sample size, only 31.1% from three-point range. This summer, he did play with the Boston Celtics Summer League team, and he actually performed pretty well. Not well enough for the Celtics to sign him, but consider that Boston pretty much brought everybody back from the team last year that won the NBA championship. He did play 5 games in the Summer League, average 8.5 points per game, 3.8 rebounds, a block per game, 48.5% from the field, and 41+% from three-point range. Those are the numbers that you'd be looking for, although at the NBA level, he'd probably give you maybe 5 to 10 minutes per night, but he would give Philadelphia some size. So, Chip, you crushed it while I was gone. Appreciate you, my guy. I saw a lot of people saying, Chip, what an absolute legend. I was saying that from afar. Here on this show, what do you think about the Sixers maybe signing Killian Tillie? What a great basketball name, by the way. Yeah. Killian Tillie.
Definitely a great name. Definitely a great name. And it's an interesting skill set that he provides, right? That stretch big. He's only 6'9", a little bit more of a center, though, despite that height. He can play little 4, and obviously the Sixers are looking for a 4 off the bench because you really only have KJ Martin, Ricky Council as your forwards, and they've said that's a need. They want to fill that backup power forward position. And Tillie could, I think, run some 4. It's interesting, again, because the Sixers, when you think of their backup bigs, you know, Drummond, Adembona, not spacing the floor. KJ Martin, not really a floor spacer either. You know, Ricky Council, we'll see. But this would bring a little bit of a different skill set than what we've had so far here in Philadelphia. So if they, you know, maybe put him through a workout and they think we want extra insurance, even more for Joel Embiid, but we also think maybe Tillie can run the 4 and be able to guard a little bit on the perimeter because he was asked to do that a little bit more with the Celtics in Summer League, of course, also stretching that floor well. It could be an interesting option as a player that, again, they did have interest in last season, so clearly Morey does like him as a player.
So you heard from me, you heard from Chip. Now let's hear from you. We want you to get in the shoes of Daryl Morey and answer this question for us that we're popping up on the screen right now. Should the Sixers sign him? S for sign or P for pass? Now coming up next here on 76ers Now, some Joel Embiid injury news from the Olympics after a dominating performance against Brazil. He also played very well against Puerto Rico going into a big game against Nikola Jokic and Serbia. Stay tuned for that update. First, let's tell you about today's sponsor, and that is Game Time. If you're looking for the best seats at the lowest price guaranteed, Game Time is your answer. With the Game Time app, prices drop as the event gets closer, and compared to other ticketing apps, you're guaranteed to get the lowest price. So in summary, when you download the Game Time app and you use the code ChatSports, by the way, you get $20 off your purchase. You get last minute tickets and flash deals, view from your seats before you buy so you know exactly what to expect when you arrive, and it's lowest price guarantee. You want to go to an Eagles preseason game? You could certainly do that. Vikings-Eagles, that's the only home preseason game for the Eagles. That is a hot item right now in the Game Time app, but tickets are still available for as low as $61, as you can see. Section C25, row 11. And what I also like is that you get that view of the stadium, but also views from your seat as well to see exactly where you want to sit, like in this instance, Citizens Bank Park. So download the Game Time app, create an account, use the code ChatSports for $20 off. Take the guesswork out of buying Major League Baseball, NFL, NBA tickets, but also on top of that, comedy shows, concerts, and theater events. Terms apply. So use that code CHATSPORTS. That's code ChatSports. Download the Game Time app. Last minute tickets, lowest price guaranteed. As for the latest on Joel Embiid, he played great against Brazil on Tuesday, but did not play in the second half, and he told Steve Kerr he had some ankle soreness. But in the 12 minutes that he did play, I thought he played awesome basketball. And then before that game against Puerto Rico, Joel Embiid was cooking. Against Brazil, 14 points, 7 rebounds, 5 of 6 from the field, stretched his game out to the three-point arc, 3 of 3 from distance, and he was a team high. Plus 25. Crickets on social media, of course. Tim Reynolds tweeting this out. Joel Embiid has a bit of ankle discomfort. He told Steve Kerr that at halftime, hence he rested in that second half. Does not sound serious. So I don't think this is a cause for concern for Joel Embiid. I think at times he's looked a little bit slow. I'd like to see him slim down just because I think it helps him as he ages. But it's good to see the game slow down for Joel Embiid because with that, naturally, I think he started to play better basketball, and I hope that he can ball out against Serbia and Nikola Jokic because that would be a good look for him, for all of the detractors out there. Chip, what do you think about how Embiid has fared the last 2 games? And if you want to comment on some of the ridiculous chatter that we've seen on social media and here at Chat Sports, you can, of course, address that as well.
Yeah, I mean, Embiid's always going to get his hate. It's a little bit ridiculous. I'm just glad to see him finally, getting into his groove a little bit and finding his spot here in this Olympic team. A lot of stars on the squad, a lot of people taking back seats, finding new roles. He's never played on this level of international basketball before, so I'm not surprised coming off the injury that he obviously had to deal with it. It took him a little while, and he's still wearing that big wrap around his knee. Like, it's obvious he's not 100% out there, but, to see him be able to find his outside shot again, grabbing 7 rebounds and a half. I mean, he looked like the guy you'd expect him to look like, looked more confident. And, still not moving amazing, but moving a little bit better. Some of the stuff people are saying about him is ridiculous, like get him off the team and this and that, like start Bam Adebayo, start Anthony Davis. And they're all great players, don't get me wrong. But then when he does good, there's nothing. There's no, oh, Joel Embiid, like what a great performance there is today. So it is what it is. He doesn't care about it, obviously. That stuff doesn't really matter to him, as it shouldn't. But man, just wish you would get some of the respect he deserves because some of the stuff that people are saying is just ridiculous.
Some of the stuff that we hear in this office, it naturally comes because Chip and I are from Philadelphia, so people like to talk shit, but we're also really good at clapping back and talking shit back. But I had somebody come up to me today and say, USA against Serbia, I'm really worried because I can't trust Joel Embiid. I'm like, did you see how he played the last 2 games, and he said, yeah, against 2 awful teams, just give the man his credit. Give credit where credit is due. Next for Team USA, as I noted, a rematch against Serbia, and the winner advances to the gold medal game. So we're at the knockout stage, of course, at this point of the Olympic Games, and Team USA did beat Serbia 110-84 in group play. Jokic, Bogdanovic did lead Serbia, and I know that Steve Kerr has also gotten a lot of slack. He has made some difficult coaching decisions that have ended up being very good coaching decisions for Team USA. Sitting Tatum, sitting Joel Embiid. It's worked out well. You know, I didn't want to see Embiid sit against South Sudan, but he didn't match up all that well against the length and athleticism in that previous matchup prior to the Olympics, and that's the job of the head coach, and that's the reality of what happens when you play for Team USA because you're playing on a loaded squad. It's not like you're on an NBA roster. Predict Embiid's stat line against Serbia in the comment section. I wonder if he starts. I hope he starts. We'll certainly see. Join the conversation in the comment section. For Chip, I'm Chase. We out.